Okay, we need to talk. We're breaking down a really urgent warning about UK energy prices. And honestly, if you pay a gas or electricity bill, what we're about to cover could save you a serious amount of money. This is all coming straight from the latest advice from MoneySavingExpert.
I mean, it doesn't get much more direct than that, does it? The message is crystal clear. You need to act now, or you could be facing a pretty significant price hike. So let's get into what this warning is actually all about.
All right, let's dive right in. To really get why this warning is so urgent, we first have to understand the problem that's heading our way. So I'm going to ask you directly, are you on the energy price cap? Now, you might think, nope, not me, or maybe you're just not sure. But the reality is, you probably are. You know, Martin Lewis talked about asking an audience this exact question, and almost nobody raised their hand. But here's the thing he pointed out, and it's absolutely crucial. If you haven't gone out of your way to switch to a special deal, then you are, by default, on your supplier's standard tariff. And guess what? That standard tariff is the price cap.
So, what even is it? Well, think of it as a safety net, not a cheap deal. The regulator, Ofgem, basically sets a maximum price for your daily standing charge and for each unit of energy you use. The catch is, it changes every 3 months, and that's why your bills can suddenly shoot up or drop down.
And this is the number that's causing all the alarm. The current prediction for July 1st is that the price cap is going to rise by 14%. For millions of households, that is a huge jump.
So why is this happening? Well, the price cap we're on right now was actually set using wholesale energy prices from before recent global conflicts pushed all those costs way up. But the new July cap, it's being calculated right now, and it fully factors in those much higher wholesale costs. So a pretty big rise is now almost a dead certainty.
Okay, so that's the problem. And yeah, it's a bit grim, I know. But the good news is there is a solution, something that puts the control right back in your hands. It's all about locking in some certainty. And the way you do that is with a fixed-rate tariff. This is just a deal where the price you pay for each unit of gas and electricity is locked in, usually for about 12 or 15 months. Now, your total bill will still go up and down depending on how much energy you use, but the rate you pay per unit, that won't budge. It's basically your shield against all this price volatility.
Now have a look at this, because this chart tells the whole story. That first bar shows that right now you can actually get fixed deals that are cheaper than the current price cap. But here's the really important bit. Compare it to that third bar, the predicted July cap. Fixing your rate now could mean locking in a price that's way below what everybody else on a default tariff will be paying from July.
And hey, this isn't just theory. We're talking about real deals available as we speak. Providers like Outfox Energy, Fuse, and Eon Next are offering fixes that are already about 3 to 4% cheaper than the current cap. And just remember, that saving gets even bigger when the cap jumps up in July.
Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. There are always a few what-ifs and buts. So let's just tackle the biggest questions head-on.
This is the big one, isn't it? It's the classic dilemma. Do you act now, or do you hold out and hope for a better deal down the line?
And this really lays out the gamble. I mean, sure, if global tensions suddenly ease, wholesale prices could fall, and maybe cheaper fixes will appear. But if they don't, these current deals could vanish or get a lot more expensive. So fixing now is really the risk-averse choice. It's about choosing certainty in a very uncertain market.
All right, now for those of you who are already on a fixed tariff, you might be feeling pretty smug right now, and fair enough. But what's your next move?
Well, it really all depends on when your current deal is up. If you're in the last 49 days of your contract, you're in a great spot. You can switch to a new deal right now without paying any exit fees. It's the perfect time to start comparing. If your fix isn't ending soon, it's a tougher call. You'd probably have to pay to get out of your deal, but you'd be protecting yourself from what could be even higher prices when your current fix eventually runs out.
So, we've laid out the problem, we've talked about the solution, and we've gone through the biggest questions. It really all boils down to this. What should you do right now?
Here's a simple 3-step plan. First, just think about your own attitude to risk. How much would a 14% price hike really affect your budget? Second, don't just grab the first deal you see. Use a proper comparison tool to see the best rates available for where you live and how much you use. And third, if you're someone who values peace of mind, lock in a good deal that gives you that certainty for the next year or so.
Because in the end, it all comes down to this one simple question. Are you going to choose certainty now, or are you going to take a gamble on the future?
Based on everything we're seeing, the safer bet seems pretty clear. But that choice, as always, is yours.